Hello, I'm Tamara Bess, licensed marriage and family therapist and director of the Center for Healthy Relationships. And today I want to talk to you about distress tolerance. One of the things that I see pretty regularly in therapy, and what kind of is normal based on what happens in relationship, is that couples don't come to therapy until their level of distress has already reached a certain point. And therapy, by its very nature, increases distress before things get better. If you want to come to treatment and really start talking about the things that are difficult for you, there has to be an expectation that things are going to get harder before they get easier, because we're talking about the very hard things that are causing a problem in the first place. And since you can't do that on your own, the reality of having a third person in the room doesn't mean that dealing with that stuff that's been hard for you to address is going to be easier, unless you have some foundations. So I'm here to share some good news with you. And the good news is this, that we can make therapy and your relationship safe. In fact, that's the best first step in therapy before delving into the depths of couples therapy. And the reason for this is that normal relationship development is such that every relationship comes to a point where the things that you need the most from your partner are the things that are the very hardest for them to give, and vice versa. So what you need is probably pushing up against something in your partner, something very old from the family they grew up in, or from an old trauma that actually makes them feel unsafe to be able to give you the thing that you need. And the thing that they're asking you for is probably pushing up against something very old for you. And that's what makes two people who really love each other come to this place where they're having difficulty resolving conflict, and they're having difficulty even talking about the issues that are coming up, because when you have your partner having a difficult time giving you the very things that you need the most, and when it's hard for you to give your partner the thing you need, they need the most, what happens is we start making assumptions. We all come with a history to relationship. We come to our relationship with the hope that we can heal our past and develop a love that will help us feel whole in a way that we haven't felt before. When our partner cannot do that unassisted, we assume all the things we assume when we're kids. We assume that they don't love us. We assume that we're not good enough. And so because that normal relationship development leads to assumptions, the reality is that therapy is really hard work. It's really hard work because at the Center for Healthy Relationships, we believe that in order to help you heal that, we have to help you understand what the blocks are, help you understand how to clear those blocks to intimacy with your partner, and that is hard. So, in order to do that hard work, we at the Center for Healthy Relationships begin with a foundation of creating safety in the relationship before we move forward with the really hard relationship work. So, how do we do that? I obviously rub the words. It says safe foundation. We create the safe foundation for the work by integrating 3 things. Actually, it's 4 things. I will add to this: mindfulness, we integrate 4 things. We have a very structured stress management process. So when you come to the Center for Healthy Relationships, we're going to give you a model for stress management that is easy to apply right away. You'll be able to see right there in the room, as soon as it's presented to you, how it applies to your relationship, and how not managing stress well directly impacts your behaviors with your partner and vice versa. We also will help you understand how history interferes with the present moment for you and or for your partner. We'll look at personality and help you understand how personality traits that are stable across time cause you and your partner to behave in certain ways that we typically will take personally. So for example, a person who's more of a freedom-based person who is not so conscious of time is often coupled with someone who is very clear and direct and conscious of time. And so time conflicts will come in and things will be said or thought about your partner that are maybe not so loving, but it's really personality and understanding each other's personality in a way that helps you not take your partner's actions personally and learn how to deal with them in a constructive way, in a way that takes into account each other's personality, is what's going to help you move forward the best way in therapy. Finally, mindfulness. The most successful couples therapy, the most successful relationships happen where each partner is good at being aware of what's happening for themselves in their own body and managing their issues, knowing what's present and what's in the past, and being able to determine the difference between my responses to something that are connected to my history versus my responses to something that are actually my partner's behaviors. So, to tell you all of this, the bottom line is, to be able to do this very hard work, I'm hoping you're getting the picture that you have to be able to tolerate some level of distress. And so stress management will help with that. But in order to help you kind of get a head start on the stress management piece and learning how to tolerate distress, because oftentimes in relationships, while you're doing the work, you have to be able to tolerate uncomfortable feelings while you're working with the things your partner's saying or the things that you're experiencing in relationship to determine if it's real and now or if it's old stuff. To help you with that, I'm including in this blog post a list of positive activities that you can do to help you deal with distress, to reduce your reactivity and to increase your ability to tolerate distress when you're in relationship and when you're feeling stress that could be leading to more of the difficulty that you're having than it needs to. So look for that in the blog post. Follow me on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook. Ask any questions related to this topic or any others that I have given. If you're interested in learning more about this process of what we do here at the Center for Healthy Relationships to make relationship therapy safe and effective, give us a call, 626-657-0061. Thanks for listening. I'm Tamara Bass.